Welcome back to the show. With us now in the studio is creator and director of This Is Israel Today, Mona Hennick. Hi, Mona.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing this week?
Great.
It's good to see us. So we're gonna take a trip to Jerusalem.
Yeah, one of my favorite cities. Obviously, it's beautiful and amazing place in Israel. So
tell us about it's the German quarter, the German.
It's
colony.
the German colony.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most beautiful places in Jerusalem. It's got great historical architecture. It's got all these different influences. It's an area that was formed a long time ago by actually German Templars, which are an offshoot of Protestants, Christians from Germany.
Sure.
And it's a area that's full of a lot of Anglo-Saxons and English speakers and a lot of beautiful stuff to see. And
well, let's have a look at your clip.
Great, thanks.
There's old Arab influence, there's Jewish influence, of course, and then this German Templar influence. So it's an interesting place to come and see the architecture. This is the Smidar movie theater. It was founded in 1928, and it's basically a Jerusalem institution. It shows foreign language films, independent films. There's a great restaurant, cafe inside. It's also open on Shabbat, which is a little controversial, but it's a great place to know about if you want to come see some different films that you're not going to see in a first-run movie theater, and have a great place to meet on Shabbat and grab something to eat.
It looks like such a cool area.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And that movie theater actually is been threatening to close. It's because they can't sustain it, but it's the only one-screen movie theater left in Jerusalem.
Oh,
and the community got together, and they're trying to figure out ways to keep that movie theater going. So it's really, really a nice thing. They say that it's going to stay until May of 2017, so they have kind of a little bit of a but it's all of those old kind of neat places get pushed out when these bigger movie theaters open up in the area, and two of them recently did.
But it's also a cafe and a cultural
It's a cafe,
center,
yeah, exactly. It's not just a movie theater. It's open on Shabbat, and it's a very nice place to have in the neighborhood. One of these small kind of places. So.
And you were saying you used to live in this German colony.
I lived right there on Emek Raphaim, and so I know it very well. And strolled through the streets, in the beautiful trees and beautiful, gorgeous buildings, all this different architecture. And recently they made a park along the train tracks, these abandoned train tracks that were for years and years and years just complete waste when I first moved to that area. And so I saw it developing over the time, and it was amazing to see this. And now it's just this incredible park in the area.
And we have a clip of this as well.
Yeah, we do.
Let's have a look. Okay, so tell us about this park.
Yeah, well, it's kilometers of bike paths and walking paths now, and green that was never there before. So it's incredible, and it also is connecting all these neighborhoods along the way. Different, the German colony is very upscale. It's one of the richest neighborhoods in all of Jerusalem. It's all English speaking, and mostly, the shop owners, everybody. But then you go down these paths, and you go through some of these little Arab villages and different parts, Katamon and other parts of Jerusalem that weren't ever connected before. So it's really nice. And again, like I said, there weren't these green areas before in that area, in that part of Jerusalem, so it's really nice. And
let's talk about the light rail, though, because it's threatening to ruin this
really, it's
area.
It's very controversial. And now it's the second line they're planning to build. It's the blue line. The first line's complete, but as most people know, building it was a 10-year craziness.
They're
on
building it in Tel Aviv now.
In Tel Aviv, but in Jerusalem, the line they built on Jaffa Road, it took 10 years. A lot of the stores closed. It was really, really, really difficult for a lot of people. Now they're talking about bringing it through Emek Raphaim, right down that main street, which is a very small, narrow street. They're talking about only having one train going one way, and then having to shut and having, if the train needs to come the other way. It's very complicated. The streets are very small and narrow. There's a lot of fear that a lot of the stores will never recover if they do that. And so it remains to be seen what's going to happen.
But some people think it's a good thing as well.
Some people think, well,
two sides to it.
There are, there's always going to be two sides, and the people that are living in the other areas where it could go, of course, want it to stay there. But, we'll see what happens. They say that they've done all the studies and that this is the best and most efficient way, but I know that area also, and I don't know. There's a lot of elderly people there. There's a lot of children there. Huge, beautiful old trees.
It's always difficult to put in new systems, public transportation, in well-established areas. It's always an issue.
But now on Jaffa Road, it's like Europe. It's very European.
Amazing.
It's beautiful. It's running nice. So
I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens in the end. Mona, thanks so much for this. Thanks for telling us about this area of Jerusalem.
Thanks.